Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this week's figure news fix, which will be figures going on pre-order between 12th December to 17th of December 2022. In my previous edition of this figure news, I mentioned that I will be reporting this week's figure news from event grounds in Comic Fiesta Kuala Lumpur. Yes, that is indeed the case. This was filmed in advance on a Thursday. So the figure news on Saturday and Friday, these 2 days, will be from the event grounds. I hope the audio quality isn't too awful. And then we will jump back into the studio for Thursday all the way to Monday. Alright, so now let's head over to the event grounds. Hi again everyone. So what you're looking at, this location over here, this is the venue for Comic Fiesta 2022, a cosplay anime event. Our version of Comic Cat in Malaysia, the largest event of the year, and the first one since we reopened after the pandemic. So it is very crowded in the back, but things appear to be fine on these spots over here. So I'll be reporting from this location for figures going on pre-order on Saturday 17 December and Friday 16 December. So now we're looking at Ami over here on my phone. 17th of December, fortunately there are no scale figures at all, so there's one less work for me. But on the 16th of December, there are a lot of amazing figures going on pre-order today. So we shall quickly go through them one by one. Right. I mean, man, Ami is so unfriendly to mobile users. Alright. So here's the first one. We have Good Smile Company's 1x7 scale Scathach Skadi caster class from Freecs Grand Order for 26,800 yen. So this figure is a must-have in my opinion. I'm so excited about this one. In fact, I'm going to buy this as soon as she comes out. I'm going to photograph it in a diorama and review it. This is amazing. And this is not just for Freecs Grand Order fans. If you are a collector of high quality scale figures, this is one to get. You won't regret pre-ordering this one. So there are not many photographs of this figure over here provided by Good Smile, but hey, I think this is enough proof. I mean, these product photos, they already look amazing. Right, so we move on to the next one over here. This is from that reincarnated slime anime, Scarlet Bond. Violet 1x7 scale figure by We Fans. Okay, this figure company, We Fans, they are actually a branch of Good Smile as well. When I look at this figure initially, I nearly mistook her for Assassin Jack the Ripper from the Fate series, but no, this is from, this is from that slime anime. I mean, Rimuru is right there in her slime form. So 25,300 Japanese yen. Actually, this looks amazing as well. This figure is very attractive to me. Yeah, I would actually love to photograph this figure. And if you are a fan of this anime series, I actually like it quite a lot, despite some of its flaws with the plot. But this is something I can recommend you guys to pre-order if you are interested in this figure. Yeah, I love it a lot. The next one over here, we have a 1x4 scale B-Star figure by Freecs, Shoto Todoroki, for 44,000 yen. Well, at least it isn't as exorbitant as the Hunter x Hunter figure from previous few days ago. Yeah, you will see that figure in the moment. That one is fetching for 66,000 yen. So this one for 44,000 yen is not that bad in comparison, but it is on the high side given that last week we had Bunny figures from Freecs for 33,000 yen. BNHA is very popular, so perhaps that is why they jacked the price up a bit, because you guys are going to buy it anyway. But anyways, this isn't something I would buy, yeah. The next figure over here is also very attractive to me. I'm kind of undecided between pre-ordering this one or not, because this is a very expensive figure coming from a brand I know nothing of. We are looking at Bunny Suit Planning Sophia Shering complete figure for 37,000 yen by a company called the Eldora Model. So you see, I know nothing about this figure company at all, but I won't deny that this figure is so darn detailed. I actually love mecha stuff, I love science fiction stuff. So when you have an anime girl coming with all these mecha parts and even these huge jet boosters behind, yeah, they are extremely detailed. We are getting a lot of product photos over here. So we go through them one by one and have a look. Yeah. The one thing I noticed with this figure is that she is actually kneeling on top of a traffic stoplight, yeah? Like, why is that the case? I have no idea, because I don't know about the origins of this character. So yeah, it is kind of weird to me, but once again, you don't question anime logic, right? This is something I actually can recommend despite me knowing nothing about the figure company. The next one over here is also science fiction stuff, a bit of that mecha musume feel. We have Orbit Girls entry number 1 Fiona Full Moon Antenna Shop limited edition single shipment. This is a giant figure at almost 44,000 yen. The company behind this, Vertex, they make excellent figures. So if you are attracted by this figure, which admittedly I do, I really like what I'm looking at a lot. If you are attracted by this figure, then perhaps pre-order this one. I don't think you will regret it, because Vertex, they are currently doing a series of elf figures, original character designs, and those elf figures, they are very high quality. They are amazing. And I doubt that this would be any worse than those elf figures. I really like what I'm looking at. As I mentioned earlier just minutes ago, this one day, Friday, 16 December, there are a lot of amazing figures. I mean, wow. Look at the details, man. Yeah. I guess this figure will be making into my watch list. It is a 50-50 possibility I might pick up one. Yeah, depending on my budget, of course. The next figure is something by Alter from 13 Sentinels. We have 8G's Rim, Iori Fuyusaka, 1x7 scale for just under 20,000 yen. So you see, I think just a couple of weeks ago, Furio also put a figure from 13 Sentinels on pre-order. I'm not sure if I remember correctly. That one was way more expensive, almost 10,000 yen more than this one. So Alter is selling one over here for under 20,000 yen. This is a very simple figure. I have no idea what is 13 Sentinels, but this is a great looking figure as well. It might not be the most detailed, most sophisticated figure in the world, but this is actually a great purchase. I mean, we're talking about Alter over here. Something I would love to have, even though it is not a high priority, because to me, this figure is very photogenic. Right. The next one over here, Persona 5 and Takamaki corset dress version. I think this figure went on pre-order a week ago. I covered this figure before, I think. Yeah. I'll be skipping past this one. This is by Falino. I think this one went on pre-order more than a week ago. The next figure over here is by a brand called Illumina. I have no idea what is this brand either. There are so many new names nowadays. So we are looking at AZF01 1x7 scale complete figure for 26,130 yen. So the pose of this figure is on the boring side of things, right? I normally am not a fan of figures that are standing still and doing nothing over there when it comes to the pose, but yet at the same time, that might sound like hypocrisy given that I do own figures with such static poses. For example, Fat Company's Miyamoto Musashi. That is very close to what we're looking at over here in terms of boring and uninspiring poses, right? The next figure over here, we have Sakuna of Rise and Ruin. Sakuna complete figure, 20,000 yen from Union Creative. Like, this is a very tiny figure, right? 20,000 yen is on the high side of things. Let's take a look at the dimensions of this figure. Yes, she is less than 18 centimeters tall. So 20,000 yen feels expensive, to be honest. Yeah. I know nothing about this character. The colors are very nice. No, I'm not getting this figure. I'm definitely skipping this figure. It feels like a more sophisticated version of Nandroid, to be honest. It's like, alright, let's reduce the size of Nandroid's head by half and then we make the body appear more sophisticated. That is what it feels like to me. This is a chibi character. Yeah, a very small size character. 20,000 yen is a bit much. And the last figure for this one day, we have a figure by Myethos, a 1x10 scale, curiously. King of Glory Yunying, Heart of a Prairie Fire version. Yeah, 1x10 scale for under 4,000 yen. So this is a bit like pop-up parade at this point. Myethos also had a 1x10 scale on pre-order about a couple of weeks ago. So this is a very detailed figure for 1x10 scale. 4,000 yen is very affordable. So this is something I would skip, of course, because I know nothing about the origins. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of the character design over here. That's about it. So that is all for figures going on pre-order on 16th of December. We move on to the 15th of December and we shall go back to our studio to make things a lot easier. Created figures, which I will cover now briefly, but unfortunately I have to cover up certain parts of the figure. Yeah, censorship, because the YouTube algorithm is interpreting my videos in the wrong way and then proceed to place restrictions, which I have to appeal one by one. It is really annoying, and by the time the restrictions are being reversed or lifted, like, what is the point anymore? You already mess with my videos the moment I publish it, where there is a surge of traffic. There are a lot of people watching it right after they are being published, right? So I had to cover them just to avoid tripping up the AI. So let's move into the first figure for this day, 15th December. The first one over here, we have a 1x4 scale figure by Vibrasta, Miyaru Takigawa, illustration by Tomaso, based on an artwork. Very cute face, I like the face expression a lot, but yeah, those big saggy papayas on her chest, it is more realistic this way, of course. But at the same time, yeah, that is not really my cup of tea. This is not something I would buy because it is not to my taste. And what is up with those pair of tapes on the chest, right? Like, they appear to be too thick to be just a simple tape on top, right? So yeah, I think the pink color tapes on her chest, on her papayas, they are a bit too thick. I'm not really a fan of that. So will you get this figure? Let me know down in the comments below, because 32,000 yen for 1x4 scale, I think this is great value, despite me not being a fan of the character design over here. The next one, we have Angel Club Volume 10 cover illustration, female teacher Ikuko Oyeyama, illustration by Manechi, 1x5 scale figure by Lacquerie, also over 37,000 yen. So this is not cheap for a 1x5. You see, Vibrasta offered a 1x4 for 32,000 yen. This is a 1x5, which is a bit smaller, not by much, for 37,000 yen. All because of the difference between Vibrasta and Lacquerie. Vibrasta is a Chinese company, Lacquerie is a Japanese company, and they have been around for a long time actually, since the 2010s, maybe even earlier than that, right? So Lacquerie as a figure brand, once again, they are also a grade B figure brand, which is to say their figures are not at the level of Alter or even Good Smile, not at the level of Native, right? Native or SkyTube. However, they are not too bad either. They are somewhere in the middle between the best and the worst figure brands out there. Based on what I can see from these product photos at least, the figure doesn't appear to be very detailed to justify that 37,000 yet. All it had going at this price point is the size of the figure. So this figure is personally a no for me. The third ecchi figure of the day, and I would say this is my personal favorite among the three for today. We are looking at Konpol Shoujo Nanami Hazuki English Translation Edition with full color doujinshi limited edition. 1x6 scale at 23,000 yen by a figure brand called Marken Punch. Yeah, there was a figure by Marken Punch a few weeks ago in a separate news. I have no idea. I don't know much about this figure company, unfortunately. However, with this figure over here, I said that it is my favorite among the three. I think it is mainly because of the face expression. Yeah, I like it a lot over here. And yeah, I like the body proportions a lot more compared to the first papaya figure. And this whole way of displaying a figure inside a gift box is very unique. But once again, I don't think this is something I would buy or pre-order either. The next figure over here is a classic, very popular, but I've never watched it before. So pardon me if I pronounced the name of the series or the character wrongly. Hunter Cross Hunter Gone Freecs 1x4 scale complete figure by Freecs. Yeah, because this is a very popular classic series, Freecs is overcharging for it. I mean, 66,000 yen, seriously? It is a 1x4, but just last week, or I think, yeah, just last week, they had 1x4 scale figures for half the price of this one. So why is this one fetching 66,000 yen? Because of that fireball and the effect parts. I don't think that fireball justifies another 30,000 yen, right? So this is obviously price gouging, just because, you know, the fans of Hunter Cross Hunter, they are from a previous generation of anime fans. And those previous gen anime fans, they would be rich working adults today, especially if they can afford figures. So Freeing is overcharging it just because these people, the fans of this series, they can afford the figure, right? It is a very common marketing tactic and selling tactic actually. So this figure, once again, is a no for me. The next one, yep, Uma Musume. Uma Musume was very popular in the recent Mega Hobby Expo. Lots of figures from this series. So we have Pretty Derby Gold Ship, the pose of first 1/7 scale by Furyu, 28,380 yen. 1/7 scale. So yeah, I have been criticizing Furyu week over week. The 28,000 yen for this one seems a bit or slightly more affordable than the 30 plus 40 plus thousand yen figures they have been pushing out recently. And yeah, the pose of this figure is very nice. I really like it a lot, but 28,000 yen, once again, it feels like it is on the high side to me. Yeah, it is fairly expensive, but at least not as bad as those going on pre-order in the previous few weeks, right? So will you pick up this figure, or would you rather wait for other brands? Even Outer is jumping on the Uma Musume train, so let me know down in the comments below. The next figure is also a classic, so we have Bishoujo Echina Asamiya, the King of Fighters. Yeah, this is from 1998. 1/7 scale figure by Kotobukiya, under 15,000 yen. So if you are into KOF, yeah, surely pick this figure up. This is rather affordable for under 15,000 yen. Personally, I used to play Street Fighter and Tekken a bit, but I did not play KOF at all. So I'm not that familiar with KOF other than Mai Shiranui, which is like very popular, perhaps one of the main poster characters for this entire KOF franchise, right? So yeah, really depends on whether you're a fan of this series, KOF. And that is about it for the 15th of December. We move on to the 14th of December. So the first figure on this day, we have a Ram figure. 1/7 scale, this is by Wing Company, which is also a branch of Good Smile. But 25,850 yen feels a bit excessive for a figure that is rather plain to me, to be honest, right? I mean, Good Smile, the one by Good Smile, which cost like 60% of this, around 16,000 yen, I think. Or even 12,000 yen back then. Yeah, the one by Good Smile was a bit more interesting in the sense that you had additional parts you can swap. You can have her serving tea, or you can have her in her demon mode, yeah, with that mace in her hand. So the Good Smile version is still better than this one in terms of display options and accessories. The second one over here, we have Touhou. So Touhou also has a really large fan base from the previous generation who are rich working adults by today. Once again, Freeing is taking advantage of that by pricing it really high. So we are looking at Touhou Project Koishi Komeiji 1/4 scale, 55,000 yen. That is really expensive. Yeah, this figure looks amazing, to be honest. I mean, I love the colors over here, but personally, I can't justify 55,000 yen for something like this. Maybe the Touhou fans can, but for me, no. The next one over here, I actually mentioned this figure in my Facebook page a few days ago. When it was first revealed a day before pre-order, I was very impressed by what I saw from this Chinese company called Ribose. So with Ribose, I actually reviewed one of their figures before, a low-cost figure called Amiya from Arknights. That was a 5,500 yen figure, around that range, competing with Pop Up Parade, and that figure was amazing, way better than Pop Up Parade figures, right? So from the same company, Ribose, over here we have B&W WKN. I mean, I'm sorry, I have no idea what is this, but 1/7 scale, 25,000 yen, a lot of money. It's pretty expensive, but this figure really looks amazing. I mean, the colors are very striking. You have white, gold, and black. These three colors are always a great combination. And it is not just the pose. I have someone telling me this pose is very overused. Yeah, I agree with that. Especially for ecchi figures and artwork, this pose is kind of overused, but for this figure, it looks amazing. And not to mention that base over here. This is like, wow. Is this No Game No Life but science fiction version? Yeah, that chessboard over there, they photographed the figure with. This looks amazing. And if money is no object, this is actually something I would actually pick up. The next one, we have Vivignet, Burn the Witch, Nini Spangle, complete figure, 26,600 yen by Bandai. No scale mentioned, none scale, so we take a quick look at the dimensions. So she is 30 centimeters tall, but when you deduct those effect parts over there, yeah, that is included in the overall height. I would say this is closer to 1/7 scale, maybe head height around 25 or 26 centimeters, so 26,000 yen, yeah, around that price range nowadays. Burn the Witch, I remember seeing the anime preview a bit, but I did not watch it, so this isn't something I would buy personally. The effect parts are actually kind of cool, especially the base. Personally, I'm not a fan of effect parts when it comes to photography, as a figure photographer myself, because they look terrible in photos. I would rather Photoshop fake effects into it, because those digital effects, they look more realistic, right? However, for the base part, yeah, I really like those effects we're getting with this figure. So is this something would you buy? Yeah. So there is actually a second figure from this same series. Yeah, this one over here, Noel Nihashi, for the same price, 26,600 yen. Once again, the effect parts look amazing, right? For display purposes, yes, that looks really cool indeed, but once again, for figure photography, yeah. Oh, that is a very boring looking face expression she has over here. I mean, now that I'm looking at this figure twice or thrice, her eyes looks kind of weird, don't you think? I mean, I haven't watched the anime yet, but regardless of that fact over here, I think her eyes look really weird. Like, you see, one eye over here is like, it is sagging down slightly compared to the other side of the eye. And I am very concerned given that Bandai has a long history of making very bad figures when it comes to female characters. I am legit concerned with this figure, to be honest. Yes, the eyes look really wrong to me over here. Maybe it is the viewing angle, because this shot over here looks fine to me, but the one before, yeah, this one looks weird. One eye is off a bit. The next one is Girls from Hell Viola, a 1/7 scale figure by Myethos, a Chinese company. Personally, I can vouch for Myethos. I have had hands-on with their figures in the past, a few of them, and they are amazing. Very detailed, solid painting quality. So this is something you might want to pick up if you like the character design over here. This is a very detailed figure, right? You're not getting a plain plastic base, and okay, the face expression over there, that is very attractive. And then we take a look at her outfit, her clothes. This is the best part, right? Yeah, as you can see over here, I mean, look at that outfit along the shoulders. That semi-transparent part with all those effects on top, that looks beautiful. I love it a lot. The back of this figure is even more impressive. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. This is very detailed, right? I love it a lot. And then that base over there, that is sweet. This figure is an amazing package for 24,000 yen. I know that I just complained 26,000 yen being expensive for 1/7 in the previous 2 or 3 figures, but for this one right here, I would say it is justifiable. So this might be something you want to pick up if you like the character enough. The last figure for this day, a pop-up parade, Lucy Heartfilia Virgo form version. For 4,080 yen, my comment for pop-up parades is always the same thing. Wait for after release, maybe check out user photos before getting it. There's no need to pre-order these things, right? Because of the hit or miss quality control. So that is all for 14th of December. We move on to the 13th of December. The only figure for this day, well, 3 of them in one set. Actually, you have to get all 3. Asuka, Rei, and Mari new type cover version from Evangelion. Katie Call, Kadokawa 1/8 scale for 45,000 yen. So you might be thinking, 3 figures for 45 isn't too bad because each figure is only 15,000 yen and the yen is cheap nowadays. But that is not really the case, right? Because you check out the dimensions for these 3 figures. Yeah, it is only 12 centimeters tall, right? Yeah, diameter is 21, but whatever, that's not important. 12 centimeters tall head height in this sitting posture. So that is on the small side even for 1/8 scale. This is a relatively small figure. So I would say 45,000 yen or 15,000 yen each is actually expensive. This should be no more than 10,000 or 12,000 yen for each figure. For me, no. I mean, there are tons of Evangelion figures out there which I would say they are better than this trio over here, which are very small figures. You can get this trio of figures for 36,000 yen, which is a lot less if you are willing to forego that special base over there we saw previously, that new type cover base, yeah. However, yeah, still not worth it to me, despite the big price cut just to remove that white color base. This date, 13th of December, we move on to the last day of the week, 12th of December. The first one for the 12th of December, we have Senren Banka Yoshino Tomotake 1/7 scale complete figure by Alice Glint for 25,000 yen. You see, I know nothing about this character, but this is already one of my top 3 favorite figures this week, just because she is so damn adorable, right? Yeah, this is something I would love to have in my collection. I would encourage you guys to pre-order it if you like what you're looking at over here. I would even argue that this is a better purchase than that Ram figure by Furyu in this similar outfit. Yeah, that one came out many years ago for under 16,000 yen. She is worth a lot more nowadays, but nah, no. Don't get that one, get this figure over here. So the second figure, this one is quite nice as well. Union Creative, we have a To Love Rule side character, Safi Mikaela, Devolute Darkness version 1/6 scale, 20,000 yen. Very fair price for 1/6 scale, even though Union Creative does not have the best track record for quality control. This is a figure which I would encourage any To Love Rule fan to pre-order and pick one up before you regret it, because I mean, the To Love Rule figure market, Momo gets most of the figures because she is arguably the most popular character from the series, followed by Yami-chan, Konjiki no Yami Golden Darkness, and then followed by, yeah, Momo's 2 other sisters, Nana and Lala. And then most of the other side characters, they get ignored. This one especially. So this is a figure you will want to pick up if you love To Love Rule a lot. And that is about it for Figure News Fix for the week 12 to 17 December. And see you guys again soon next week. I'm not sure whether there will be many figures or even any figures next week because we are right before Christmas, but we will see. It is very likely that there are no figures at all in the final week of December. So yeah, that is about it for today. Thank you very much for watching and see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.